Shanti. A very warm welcome to all of you in this new youth series of Awakening Together. My name is Priyanka, and in this series, we'll be exploring ideas on finding purpose, happiness, and peace in our lives. We'll be having conversation which can enhance our inner values. We'll be addressing challenges which we as youth are facing together in this wavering times. We'll be discussing some quick tips which helps us elevate our state of mind. Today we have with us a very special person who comes from a gleaming fashion industry, a graduate in design from Symbiosis International University, Pune, and currently working with Raymond's as an apparel designer. He's a motivational speaker, a poet, and an author of his upcoming self-help book, 11 Conscious Changes for a New Consciousness. He's a Raj Yoga practitioner and has been associated with Brahma Kumaris since 5 years, and now has been on a beautiful journey of sharing his experience and knowledge. His specialty lies in approaching spirituality in a very logical and understandable way. A very warm welcome to BK Dinesh Manchanda.
Thank you so much for having me. It's my privilege to be here. Very, very thankful.
I've always wondered, you come from a fashion industry, a very gleaming industry, where people are very outward. You coming from a similar world, you are even a spiritual seeker. What made you come to spirituality?
Actually, a lot of people ask me this question, but I want to just, I want you to pay attention on this, that our professions are capable of paying our bills, right? But our professions don't guarantee us a good state of mind. Our professions don't guarantee us a better way of living. So I always had this desire deep in my heart where I wanted to live a life which has a meaning, which has a purpose. So it's my great, great fortune that I came across the teachings of Brahma Kumaris, which is one of its kind, which is so valuable, so precious, and it holds a power to change your experience of life from the very core of your being. So I started my journey 5 years back, as you just mentioned, and I was lucky enough to have a very deep inner spiritual experience. So my spiritual journey has been very experience based. I got the experience first, and to understand that beautiful, enlightening experience, I started to seek. I began to, wanting to know more. And that's how my whole journey started. And the more clarity I kept getting about that experience, the more deeper that experience started becoming. So this is how it has been. And I feel extremely lucky, extremely blessed, and I hope that with whatever God has blessed me with, I am able to go out and share it with the world.
Quite a wonderful journey, because Dinesh, you have mentioned. You just said about having a very beautiful experience through meditation, which you have said you never experienced this before. I wonder people do take time out from their busy schedule and go out to unwind and relax with their friends, family. They go on a nature trail, picnics, vacations, party with their friends. So all these activities, doesn't these add to the inner happiness and blissfulness?
Okay, I want you to look at it very, very practically, very, very logically. Okay? Right now you are having a conversation with me. Okay?
Yes.
Do you want to have a pleasant conversation or an unpleasant conversation?
Of course, a pleasant one.
Right? Suppose after finishing this, you go to have your meal. Do you want to have a pleasant meal or unpleasant meal?
No doubt a pleasant meal.
Right. So if you see whatever we do, whatever we are trying to indulge in, we are continuously trying to feel pleasantness, right? So the desire of experiencing pleasantness is constant. It's not that you want to be pleasant for say an hour, and then you are okay for being unpleasant for 3 hours. You want to experience that pleasantness continuously within you. But anything which is physical, okay, anything which is physical in its form is limited in its nature. For example, shopping can obviously give us happiness. A holiday can give us happiness. A good meal, of course, can give us happiness. But that happiness which it's radiating is not constant. It's limited in its nature, right? You can enjoy that meal for an hour, but after an hour, you cannot extract happiness from it, right? The same way the shopping can give you happiness, but for a very limited time, right? For say 2 days. After you're done wearing those clothes, you again want to shop. So now look at it, that if our desire of experiencing happiness is constant, but the supply of the happiness from this physical thing is limited, then there is that gap in between which is not getting filled, because what you are wanting is constant, but what you are getting is not constant but limited. That's why we have that gap, right? And that gap can only be filled by understanding that happiness is our own innate quality, right? Now look at it, look at a human body, look at the way nature, the creation has made us. When I want to go out, I do not ask you that can I borrow your legs to walk. I do not ask you that can I borrow your eyes because I want to see the world. I have everything of my own, right? The same way we have to pay attention to this, that the most important thing for our well-being is happiness. So has God kept us away from that ability? No, of course. That ability of being happy from within also lies in us, right? We also have that power to create our own happiness, right? But we have not explored that beautiful realm within us. We have not explored that area. Spirituality gives you that gyan. Spirituality gives you that awakening that happiness is not something which you are seeking outside. Okay, happiness is something which is blooming within you all the time. At the Brahma Kumaris, we greet everybody with Om Shanti. Okay, now Om Shanti has a very deep meaning. When we say Om Shanti, we are saying I am peaceful. We are not saying I want to be peaceful or I am going to attain peace by doing something. I am peaceful. So that's a gentle reminder which we give to ourselves and others, that I do not have to seek peace from the outside world. I am already peaceful. So that is the biggest truth of our existence. We have always mistaken for peace to be something which comes from outside, but it is my own quality. Okay, so beautifully you said, of course we are here to explore, to experience everything which is in the world. The nature is for us, the food is for us, the shopping is for us, but there is a difference in between engaging with all these things and being dependent on them. So when you are internally fulfilled, you might engage with these things, but you will never be dependent on these things. So you will have that perfect balance of using things but not being dependent on them. You are not longing for them.
You mentioned quite beautifully, like we are so much dependent on the external factors, like a meal or someone to make us happy, or going out to make us happy. But lockdown did teach us a very important thing, that you can't go out, you have to find it within ourselves. And it's a very beautiful thing which spirituality preaches, that it's your inner nature. You don't need to seek outwards, it's already present in you. You just need to find that, enhance it or whatever. Thank you so much. It's a wonderful.
Also, it was the lockdown which has encouraged people to look within, which has encouraged people to realize that were we living in the right way. So this time, this difficult, challenging time has also brought a lot of awareness in people, that they have been able to woken up. They have been able to realize that we were so dependent on the external efforts, and this is really not the way we should live, by being so kind of dependent on things which are not in our control. So absolutely right, this is the time for us to realize that how do we live in the best of our capability, in the best of our nature, our true innate nature.
To find peace and serenity in our lives, we don't have to go to temple all the time, or we don't have to go anywhere to find it. We just have to find it within ourselves and make our homes, individual homes, like a temple. So lockdown has brought a lot of things into your mind, your consciousness. It's a very beautiful time which has made us quite aware about a lot of things.
Absolutely.
And I would like to share a research here with everyone. It's a research given by WHO over mental health. It says, as per 2020 data sheet, 56 million Indians suffer from depression. Another 38 suffer from anxiety disorder. National Institute of Mental Health and Neuroscience reveals that 9.8 million teenagers aged 13 to 17 suffer from depression and other mental health disorders. One in seven Indians were affected by mental health disorders of varying severity, as per 2017 data sheet. When I came across this research, I was so shocked at how turbulent our minds are, which is eventually leading to all these mental health disorders. And in today's digital world, youth has such an easy access to mobile phones, tablets, smartphones, and the amount of information which is coming with it, and we are feeding ourselves with it, at times unwanted, unnecessary. So we have such a huge amount of exposure in this world, which you cannot avoid. At times you have to go with it for education purpose, or whatever my other activities you might go through. So how do we handle this amount of information which is coming to us through relatives, through people, through family, through some of the other important things? Like, how do we, which is eventually making a lot of chaos in our minds? How do we handle all this? Like, how do we deal with it? Can you just throw some light on it?
We need to pause and we need to ask ourselves a very important question: that how are we using this information which is being served to us, and how much are we aware of our own inner world rather than paying attention to the outer world all the time, right? We open our social media, and on one single tap we get to see the entire world. We are seeing what other people are doing, and then constantly we are going into that zone of comparing, criticizing our own self, and harming our own mind, right? So social media is a beautiful platform. Digital media is a beautiful platform. You will not believe how many helpful and knowledgeful videos I have personally watched on YouTube, and it has added so much to my knowledge. But it is up to me. It is like you go to a party and there is a buffet of food. Now it is up to us what I want to eat and what I want to avoid. Social media is exactly like that. There are a lot of things, there are a lot of people chasing different things in life. You have to realize that what are you chasing? Are you chasing superficiality, or are you chasing your higher truth? And try to consume information which is in sync with what you are desiring from within, right? It is a very scientific thing that we are always watching stuff on the outside which is in sync with what are we feeling inside, right? So today we have access to so many platforms, but I need to ask myself honestly that if I am giving my time to something, is that particular knowledge adding something to my inner self, or is it taking away something from what I originally am? Okay, so we have to be very, very aware of social media. People who want to take good care of their mental health, I would suggest them to practice this for just 7 days. That do not use your Facebook or Instagram before 1 hour you sleep, and after 1 hour you wake up. Okay, we will realize that it makes a lot of difference to our inner world, right? The moment you wake up in the morning, your mind is at the highest absorption capacity. Put something in it which is elevating, which is uplifting, right? And the same when we are going off to sleep, it's very important that we end our day and we end our conversation with our own mind with a very, very good and positive note. So, reading a good book is ideal, having a good conversation with somebody is ideal, or having a conversation with God through meditation is the best. That's how we should end our day. But at least keep your phone away, keep your social media closed for an hour before you go to sleep. And after 1 hour, you wake up, because those two timings are so important for how we are feeling throughout the day, right? So let's experiment with this and see how much it makes our inner self better, right? It is very easy, it is very sad what you had just shared. The statistics are telling us that how there is so much suffering in the world, but we need to address these problems on daily basis, not on just International Yoga Day or International Mental Health Day. We need to pay attention our inner self. We need to realize that people who are we following on Instagram, are they really adding something to our life? Are they making my life meaningful? And there are so many beautiful souls in today's world who are doing such wonderful work, even on social media. Can we follow them? And can we add something more valuable to our life? Can we utilize our time in a more better and uplifting way? This is something which has to come from within. This is something which we all have to realize from within us. And then we can find solutions to these problems, and permanent solutions. Because till the time we are not aware, we are not wanting, we are not yearning to have a better way of life, nothing can help us from the outside. It is from me. It is my inner desire which has to come, which has to evolve, which has to tell me that I need to experience life in the best of its form on daily basis.
What a beautiful insight you have given, VK Dinesh. Beautiful. About the lifestyle changes which I have just mentioned, about the last thought which you put in our mind, and the first thought which you put in your mind when you wake up. Because at night when we are asleep, our subconscious mind, which holds the more than 90% of the part, it is completely active at that time. So your mind is continuously working. It's not, we're just resting our body, not our mind. So it's very important what last thought you put for it to multiply, and it, and you wake up fresh with that positive thought and put another good positive thoughts into your mind when you wake up. And yes, we have a lot of influences online. Some are useful, some are not that useful. So it's about being responsible of what information you take, who you choose to influence you, what you actually need, what is necessary, what is unnecessary. So it's a very amazing thing. It's again about being responsible with yourself, toward be kind to yourself, and don't put waste your energy in those useless comparisons with others. You don't know what sort of life they're living through social media, and there's a lot of social media happening. You open your Instagram, Facebook, and you don't know where you're just 15, 20, 30, 40, 1 hour just goes away, and you're just busy scrolling, scrutinizing yourself, criticizing yourself. Why you don't look like that? Why are you not living that life? There is no gratitude towards what you have, rather complaining of what you don't have. It's
Because
very
we are not
important.
conscious of who we are. We are not conscious of who we are. When we will become conscious of who we really are, we will not harm that being. We will understand the fragility, the divinity, and the kind of scope that being holds to evolve, right? Right now, we are not conscious. I am just body conscious or I am just mind conscious. We are either feeding our bodies or either feeding our mind. We are not nurturing our soul. The moment I will shift my consciousness from body, mind to myself, to my true identity, I will start nurturing that being. Then I will not do anything which is harming it. So it's all about our consciousness. It is all about our awareness that we need to shift to our truer self, to our deeper self, to our core of our being. Then there is that possibility that I start to realize that how much these things are affecting me or how much these things are helping me.
Absolutely, absolutely. You very rightly said. You said about having a very beautiful experience through meditation, which shifted a lot within yourself, and how being dependent on people or a certain situation or going out, doing something which makes you happy, which gives you happiness. More than that, how important it is to move inwards, give that time to yourself, look inwards, find that happiness within yourself, which is unlimited. So, can you just tell our viewers, like, how do we meditate? What steps we follow to meditate? Because in today's time, people are on run. People are continuously working, shifting themselves from one thing to another thing, one activity to another activity. So at times, people do find it difficult to, manage 15, 20, 30 minutes to meditate. So first of all, first question is to you is like how you meditate, what steps you follow to meditate.
The most important part, which should be clear before we start to meditate, is that why are we meditating? Right? We should know who is that being in me who is wanting to meditate and upon who that being is wanting to meditate. I need to know who I really am and who I am trying to connect to. I cannot develop a personal connection with somebody till the time I don't know that person. What is my perception of the divine, of the supreme? How have I perceived that entity till now? I have to first have a clear understanding of that. So I always tell everybody, whoever asks me about meditation, that understanding the need to meditate is the first step which has to be taken if you want to learn meditation truly, right? We are living in a world, as I mentioned, there are so many beautiful souls which are giving our life only because others should benefit, right? When I came across Brahma Kumaris 5 years back, the one thing which really fascinated me, surprised me, astonished me, that this beautiful, vast organization does not charge any cost, any money to teach meditation. How wonderful is that? Today, even when you walk into a hospital, you are first asked to pay the advance, right? And something which is so precious, something which is so invaluable. There are these beautiful, beautiful souls who have dedicated their entire life because we can benefit, because others can benefit. So, whoever the importance of having the right mental health, the right inner environment, and take that time out from your daily routine. Half an hour, 45 minutes. Today, Brahma Kumaris is the only spiritual world organization which has their centers in almost 140 countries and almost 9,000 centers. Wherever you are in the world, it is a high possibility that within 3 to 4 kilometers of your area, of your residence, of your house, you have a meditation center. You tell me what could be more helpful and what could be more wonderful than that. Take out time, go visit that center, learn meditation. It is a 7 days course which we offer, where we give you an entire understanding of why to meditate, how to meditate, and with who, upon who to meditate. Who are we trying to connect, and who we really are? Who is that being really who is trying to connect, right? So understanding the self and understanding the divine, and understanding spirituality and meditation in a practical, logical, deeper way, right? Whoever is watching us right now, you can just visit the Brahma Kumari's official website. You can go to the center locator. You can put your area pin code, and you will get the available centers which are close to your place. If you are in Thane, there are 3 beautiful centers which you can visit to anytime in the morning and evening. The first center is in Thane Cheknaka, which is called the Lighthouse. Then we have the second center in Shivayanagar, and then there is the third meditation center, which is called Gyan Sarovar, which is in Savarkar Nagar, right? So if you are in Thane, take benefit of this beautiful selfless service, right? I am personally looking forward to a lot of people, especially youngsters, who have realized that mental health is not an optional kind of evolvement which you want to do. It is, in today's world, it is compulsory for you to live really consciously, to really be aware of what is happening around and what's happening within me, right? So you can call on the number which is flashing on your screen right now. Dial this number, book a time slot for yourself, either in the morning or evening, and give 7 days, just 7 days, 7 hours for your inner evolvement, for your inner fulfillment, right? We, as this amazing, beautiful organization that Brahma Kumaris is, welcome you with our hearts open and with our souls filled with God's love and powers to share it with you all. So take that step and visit your closest meditation center and take the benefit of this wonderful service.
Thank you, Ganesh. It's very wonderful what Brahma Kumaris has done as an organization. They have opened many centers in various cities and are operating very well and offering their service to everyone. And it's beautiful that it doesn't charge any single penny. And it is so surprising to see such a place even exist in today's time, where you don't have to shell a single penny to get something from it. It's very beautiful. It's really God's touching which they have got, and they're doing this service without any expectations from the public.
Continuously growing.
Transformation in the society.
The most wonderful thing is that without even charging money for teaching this beautiful course, the organization has been continuously growing. We are having centers and they are increasing day by day, because it is not a human being's work. It is a work of that creator. It is a work of that supreme being who is doing all this. Of the divine energy. And it can only be experienced. So that's what I request all of us, all of you watching us, that come and experience that oneness, come and experience that blissfulness which your soul is yearning for.
Because Dinesh, I would like to put an insight on the meditation process. Like I wanted to ask you, for the beginners who have never meditated before, whose minds have virtually become they have multiple thoughts. It's not quiet at all. So for these people, how do they start this meditation? I'm very sure they will be definitely inspired to come to one of the centers, but Is it possible for people who are on constant run, who are out there working, who have no option but to go out, work, and earn money for themselves and their household? Is it possible for them to pause somewhere and meditate for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, starting from 2 minutes at least for the beginners? Is it possible? Does it benefit? Does it give anything
Absolutely.
by just pausing your mind for 2 minutes? Is it? Can you just put some light on that?
Yes. Let's pay attention of our existence. Okay? The most outer layer which we see as our body is the physical form which we have, right? The moment you shift your awareness even a little, you will realize that beyond your body, you have an inner world. You have an inner body which is called the subtle body, which we can say the mind body, where you have your mind, which is continuously having thoughts, and then your intellect, which is continuously taking decisions for you, right? But when we go deeper from our mind, we have our energy body. We have that self which is eternal. We have that power which is infinite. That is called the soul or the Atma or just the life energy. Now your life energy is always connected to the Creator. How? The moment I have an awareness that I am the body, I have the awareness this body belongs to somebody. Whatever is existing is coming from somebody. The moment I am conscious that I am a soul, I have the awareness that this entity has also come from a source, from a higher source. Every creation has a creator, right? So the whole meditation process is to make your body comfortable and to make your mind silent. The moment your mind is silent, your consciousness, which is stuck on the mind, automatically shifts to the soul. The moment you are soul conscious, the same moment you are also conscious of the divine you have come from, the source which you belong to, right? When we sit to meditate, we relax our mind. We pay attention to our mind. We slow down the mind so that the consciousness shifts to who I really am and who I really belong to. So take out that 15-20 minutes. You can learn the meditation on YouTube. It would be wonderful if you come to the center, nothing like it. But if you are not able to make time, play out a nice piece of music and try to concentrate on yourself, on your inner being, and try to go beyond your own thinking, your own thoughts. Create that detached wall from your own mind and from your own thoughts. And that's how you can touch your core. And that's where you can also touch the divine.
Beautiful, very beautifully explained. So you are saying in the entire day's time, where we take, if you're not in our homes, if you're out there working on the run, if possible, if we can pause for 2 minutes, we can tell ourselves that we are soul, we are inner being.
Beautiful.
Which is
Absolutely.
love.
Absolutely. Also, an inner checking.
Love.
Also, besides meditation, an inner checking of how I am feeling right now. Suppose you are at work, take a pause after 2 hours. We have this beautiful exercise which we all practice at the Brahma Kumaris, which is called the traffic control. So when you go to the headquarters, which is in the Mount Abu, so either if you're standing in an administrative office where somebody is doing your tickets, somebody is managing your stay, somebody is managing your travel, whatever they're doing, there would be a piece of music which will play and everybody will pause. Everybody will go into that silent zone for a minute or two to just check how are we feeling? Are we conscious of who we really are? Or have our consciousness been shifted to another side? So meditation is one thing. We should of course do it first thing in the morning and then checking us throughout the day that how we are actually feeling with it is very, very important.
So how our phone has a battery, our power bank has a limit. Our mind also has a battery, and we need to keep on recharging it for us to be functional in our optimum level. In our full level.
Absolutely, a very good way of understanding human mind. Your phone also needs charge. Your phone also needs to be charged. It does so many things for you, right? But the moment it's not charged, it is of no use. Your body, your mind, your soul, they all are a very, very good combination. But if it's not charged, it's of no use. So charge yourself, charge your inner core before you step out from your house for your day. That's something which has to be applied, and then we can experience the difference it brings into our life.
Okay, Dinesh, thank you so much for your wonderful time and your insight on all this. I'm already feeling very uplifted and rejuvenated, and I'm very sure all of our viewers are also benefited from this. And I'm sure they will take that very first step to look out for the center near their house, visit them, learn the 7-day course, do the 7-day course, learn the beautiful Raj Yoga meditation which Brahma Kumaris offer, and really help themselves with it, empower themselves with it. I just hope they will reach out to as many people this message, and to all my viewers, if you have any questions, any suggestions, you can put them in the comment lobby below, or you can WhatsApp us on this number which is flashing on our screens, and we will reach out to you. We'll be back soon with another enlightening conversation which we evolve and explore together in this new journey of awakening together. BK Dinesh, it would be wonderful if we end this conversation with a short meditation. It's really wonderful.
Sure. Let's make ourselves sit very, very comfortably. Our body being fully relaxed. Now slowly, I shift my awareness to my breath. And I realize that how fragile my life is. Experience that breath within you while inhaling and exhaling. And realize that how this thread of breath is holding my life. Now slowly shift your awareness to the center of your forehead. This is the place where I, the soul, resides. The moment we will pay attention to our inner world, we will experience and feel a lot of thoughts. Try to answer your running thoughts with positive affirmation. Address them and instruct your mind to be calm, to be peaceful. Try to channelize this flow of thoughts by giving it one powerful thought. that I am not my body. I am not even my mom. I am not these thoughts which I am having. I am not this cure which I experience. I am a peaceful soul residing in the center of my forehead, doing activities through my body, thinking through my mind. But I am beyond my mind and body. I am that self, that power which is eternal, which is never changing. Peace, happiness, and blissfulness are my original quality. The moment I experience that my mind is becoming silent, I can experience the inner blissfulness of my own soul, of my own self. I am now conscious of who I truly am, a sparkling point of light, an energy which is complete. I now have the awareness that through my own energy, I am also connected to the Divine, which is also an energy just like me. I can experience the flow of that Divine energy falling into my soul and filling me with this Divine power. I am soaking that beautiful, empowering energy. I now slowly open my eyes, being completely aware who I truly am. Having my awareness completely on my inner self in the center of my forehead and being completely connected to the Divine. I will now go out and do everything which I do, but with an awareness that I am a spiritual being and connected to the higher self, to the whole universe, and to that ultimate Divine. Om Shanti.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I am in body. I am that supreme power. Guys, thank you so much for joining with us. Om Shanti.